Hello and welcome to the Art of Decluttering podcast. I'm Amy Revell, your host. I'm really glad that you have joined me today. I'm going to challenge you a fair bit today. And maybe you'll get a little bit annoyed, maybe you'll get a little bit challenged, and that's okay because sometimes decluttering needs a little bit of poking and prodding, or the declutterer needs a little bit of poking and prodding, and that's my aim today. You probably had no idea what the title of this episode was in regards to. The title is Because, Really, and. And these are questions that I want you to use when you're wanting to keep something. So we're actually talking about the keep here. So you're trying to declutter, maybe you're getting rid of some things, maybe there are some things that you're keeping, and maybe you're thinking to yourself, oh, how do I know if I'm getting rid of enough? Like maybe I'm getting rid of enough, maybe I could get rid of double what I'm getting rid of, but unless you've got a declutter coach there with you and you've got one of our team or another professional organizer alongside you asking some questions, it can be a bit tricky to really dig deep for yourself. And so what I wanted to do was provide you with some of the resources that I think can really help you. And if you ask yourself these 3 questions, I think it will really change your decluttering and will give you some additional tools. I've mentioned before that we're going to do a series about walking throughout the house and doing the main areas of the house. So many new podcast listeners, so many new people on my Facebook group. And so what I wanted to do was if you don't want to go back and listen to all 440 episodes, that's completely legit. But maybe you start at series 3, season 3, and go through and listen to the ones that are coming up. So that's coming up. And this is me kind of laying the groundwork, priming the wood for the really good paint to go on it. That's a really odd analogy, but we'll just go with it. Make myself laugh. Okay, so when you are decluttering and you want to keep something, here's something you could ask yourself, and here's something you could say out loud. I'm keeping this because ... See if you can articulate the reason why you are keeping something. And so this is not about you judging yourself or judging anyone else or anyone else judging you. It's actually about you articulating something that maybe in your mind is otherwise a vibe or a feeling or maybe a fear. And so you say out loud, I'm keeping this because, and then once you say out loud, like literally it's helpful to do this out loud, I'm keeping this because I wear it. Then the next question is, really? That's what you're saying out loud to yourself. Really, Amy? And then I answer, yeah, I really do. And the next question, and what if you were to get rid of it? So what I'm not suggesting is that every item should get decluttered, and with these 3 questions, you are going to declutter everything. It's actually about just kind of digging that little bit deeper and going, if I just had a vibe or a feeling about something, let me articulate why I'm going to keep it. So I'm going to go through some examples. I'm going to do maybe 4 or 5 different types of examples of becauses. So I'm keeping this because, and I've got some examples to give. And I'm really hoping that you'll be able to kind of identify these as you go through your own decluttering, as you're wanting to keep things, so that you can question and you can do really, and what if you were to get rid of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a really early break today, and then I'm going to come back with these 4 different scenarios that we're going to workshop together. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so scenario 1, you pick up a dress and you say out loud to yourself, I'm keeping this because I wear it. So the next question you say out loud is, really? And you think, well, do I really wear it? Or is the truth that I might wear it? Or I like it and I haven't ever worn it? So you're going, really? Are you really keeping this because you wear it? Or is there actually something else going on? Is there a different vibe underneath? So I'm keeping this because I wear it. Really? Maybe not. And what if you were to get rid of it? So some questions that you might ask is, When do you wear it, Amy? So these are all you're asking of yourself, all right? So it's going to be a bit confusing because I'm talking to you, talking to myself. I'm keeping this because I wear it. Well, when do you wear it, Amy? Well, I would wear it if I was to go to a formal dinner. When was the last time you wore it, Amy? Well, I mean, it looks good when I tried it on in the shop. I wore it 15 years ago and I probably would have to lose a kilo or two to fit into it, but it's a pretty dress. And then you can maybe even say to yourself, well, should you continue to wear it? Is it too small? Does it have stains? Does it have holes? Have you purchased a replacement and you just haven't gotten rid of this one yet? So all of a sudden we're digging deeper. So because I'm keeping this because, really? And what would happen if you got rid of it? Oh, I guess I would wear a different dress. Maybe I would hire a dress. Oh, that mum at school has some really lovely dresses and we're a similar size. I could borrow something from her. And so you really want to just unpack, am I keeping this out of fear? Am I keeping it because I just kind of like it, but I don't actually use it or wear it? So is it a vibe? Is it kind of a feeling? Oh, that was an expensive dress. I don't want to get rid of it. And what if you were to get rid of it? Well, I would create space and I don't think I would actually miss it. Or I would have to go out and buy something almost the same. And so that is why I am going to keep it because I do actually wear it, right? Remember, this is not about convincing yourself that you have to declutter everything. It's about digging that little bit deeper and going, okay, what's the reason that I'm keeping something? Let's go to a different example. I'm keeping this because I use it. So I'm going to say my barbecue tongs. So we've got like those really long handled barbecue tongs, as if maybe the barbecue is so hot that I can't go anywhere within half a meter of my own barbecue, right? This is perhaps a little bit of in fact, hold your horses, everybody. I'm going to grab something. You all know what I'm grabbing.
Y-E-S, yes.
Because I've randomly picked an example of having the really long handled tongs for the barbecue. And the yes button is all about me going, yes, this is actually something I need to take action on. So long-handled tongs. I'm keeping this because I use it. Really? I mean, yes, I do use it, but I always have other tongs that I could use. And I never have a barbecue so hot that I totally couldn't use all the other tongs that I have. So the next question might be, well, how regularly do you use it? Is there something else you could use instead? And for me, the answer is, oh yeah, there's absolutely something else I can use instead. I've got other metal tongs. Now, I may not have 5 pairs, but I don't need the really long-handled ones. And to be honest, they're a bit annoying because they take up the full like cross angle of a drawer. And so everything else has to slide in around it. Next question. And what if you were to get rid of it? And right now, literally all I can think of is positives. I don't have to have an oversized pair of tongs that don't actually fit in my drawer. I can use other tongs that I can then use for salads or for a whole lot of other things. So right now, I've decided, yep, that's going to go. For me, those tongs, yes, I use them occasionally, but it's not the end of the world. And what if I got rid of them? I would be actually happier. I will check with Cal, but I'm almost 100% sure he will agree with me. Okay, so the next one is I'm keeping this because I love it. Okay, that's the because. And then, really? Do I really love it? Or maybe do I love the idea of it? Right? Maybe you love the idea of having photos up around the house. Maybe you like the idea of your kids' artwork on the fridge. Maybe you like the idea of having awesome leather pants. Maybe you like the idea of having a jet ski. Okay, so we're reallying ourselves. Or maybe you love the person that gave you the item. Maybe you don't actually love the item. And then you're going to go, and what if? And if you got rid of it, what would happen? Well, I guess nothing would happen. I maybe wouldn't have that beautiful thing anymore, but like we've established, maybe I don't think it's beautiful. But then I'm thinking, okay, if I did get rid of it, yeah, actually I don't like it on the wall, on the fridge, in my bedroom. But it does have great memories. So what I could do is I could store it somewhere with respect, or I could display it with respect. Maybe instead of having all of the figurines, I could just keep my favorite one out. And if I had to keep them because I just can't bear to part with them, the rest go into a cardboard box and put away. So we're really questioning, am I keeping it because I love it? Really? Maybe you just love the person. Maybe you love the idea of it. And what would happen if you didn't have it anymore? What would happen? And if the answer is after all these things, because really, and you're like, yes, no, I love this thing. I really want it. Keep the thing. And then it actually solidifies it for you. And you're not like going, oh, did I declutter enough? Oh, I'm not quite sure. Right? So that's the reason for these tools. The next one I want to go through is I'm keeping this because I need it. So let me think about an example. All right, a dust buster. So this is not an example that I can push the yes button on because I don't have this example in my home. However, I have been in dozens, maybe 100 homes where this is a true example. And I'm guessing that a lot of you have this example too. I need the dust buster. So if dust buster is a brand, it's kind of like the little handheld vacuums that are just like little battery operated ones. So they're not something you would do the whole house with, but you might vacuum out your car or inside a drawer or something like that with it. I'm keeping this because I need it. Really? You need the dust buster? Or are you actually just worried that maybe you might need it one day? Or are you worried that if you don't have it, then you're going to need it? Really, do you actually need it? Does anything else in your home perform the same function? So what I say to a lot of clients is if you use your vacuum cleaner, and a lot of people now have a stick vac, and so you can put different attachments on it and it's mobile, right? So it's not like, oh, but it takes so much work. I can't take it out to the car without an extension lead. If you've got not a hands-free, wouldn't it be great to have hands-free vacuums that did a really good job? Not RoboVacs. I'm keeping it because I need it. And then you're going, actually, I can just shove a different attachment on and it wouldn't be that hard. And then I would create space, right? So, and what would happen if you did get rid of it? Well, I would still do the vacuuming. I just wouldn't need this massive extra thing in the laundry, in the linen cupboard, wherever you keep it. What would happen if you didn't have it anymore? Oh, actually, often what I do is I just use it for instead of a little dustpan and shovel. Oh, well, I could just get one of those for $2 and store it under the laundry sink, or I just use it in the caravan. So maybe, yes, I do need to keep it, but all I want to do is I want to put it in the caravan and it stays in there. I don't want to bring it back and forth between the house because I need it in one location and for one purpose, but I don't need it just, hanging about because really I do have another option. Those are like 4 examples around different types of things in the house. But can you see how when you say, I'm keeping this because, and then you allow yourself to answer, and then you say to yourself, really? Like, is that true? Or are you just saying what you think you need to say in order to keep it? And then once you've really articulated that really, you go, okay, and what if you didn't have it? What if you decluttered it? What if you had just one? And you could use this in any area of your house. And the challenge is to say it out loud. I think there's a really strong case, in my experience, for saying things out loud, because sometimes when you say it out loud and you hear yourself, you go, Amy, you're just like trying to make an excuse. Or you think, oh, yeah, no, that's completely legitimate. I do get great joy from this item. Or this thing does bring me happiness because I remember my family history. So the out loudness of this exercise is really helpful. And if you think, well, that's really great, Amy, for this episode, I'm going to remember the because, really, and. Here's my little acronym for you. You're asking yourself the BRA questions, B-R-A, because, really, and, BRA. So when you're not sure, think, what was it Amy said? I know I have to remember the BRA acronym. I hope that's helpful. I think it's going to be a great tool for myself and my team to use with our clients. Get them to say, I'm keeping this because, and then just leaving a space for them to articulate what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what their vibe is, what they're afraid of, what society's told them, what family and friends have told them. And so I know as professional organisers, if we can use this, then you can use it in your home too as a great tool so that you can keep that decluttering up, keep kicking goals, and just keep up living in a home that is intentional and simple and functional and beautiful and enjoyable and all of the good things. If you would like to join my 5-day free wardrobe challenge and you want to test out these because really ends, then I would love you to come and join me. I'll put a link in the show notes, or you can just visit theartofdecluttering.com.au/wardrobe. It's a free challenge. It takes you through shoes and tops and pants and dresses and jackets and I can't even remember what the other ones are, socks and undies and smalls and bras and all that type of stuff. And it just walks you through day by day how to declutter all the way through your wardrobe. And you can use it for yourself or your family or your kids. You can even go and help a girlfriend do her wardrobe. So thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Come and join the wardrobe challenge. And don't forget to ask yourself the bra questions. And until next week, enjoy the freedom. I would like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people who are the traditional custodians of the land this podcast is recorded on. I would also like to pay respects to their elders, both past and present, of the Kulin Nation, and extend that respect to other Indigenous Australians. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's episode, I would love you to rate and review the show on your podcast app. That will help others to find the Art of Decluttering podcast as well. If you'd like any more information, you can visit theartofdecluttering.com.au. And I would love to see you in my Facebook group. Just search the Art of Decluttering community on Facebook and join today. I hope that you have an incredible rest of your day and enjoy the freedom.